Some of us complain about our physique. A lot of us struggle with this. But today, we're going to show a bunch of people who were born with deformities and disorders that will make us appreciate our bodies.
Jose Mestre. A Portuguese man, Jose had a large tumor that had consumed his face and made it hard to breathe. Eventually, a surgeon in Chicago was found who performed a risky operation to remove it. The Portuguese government paid for Jose's medical expenses, and he now lives a normal life.
The Illes family. This rural Turkish family has some sort of unidentified disease that causes them to walk on all fours. 5 brothers and sisters, aged between 18 and 34, live in Hatay, Turkey. They get around their village by bear crawling on their feet and palms. Scientists still aren't sure about the reason behind this, but there has been speculation of genetic causes.
Dean Andrews. Dean suffers from a rare condition called Hutchinson-Gilford progeria. People with this disease age very rapidly and rarely live past their teens. In just 20 years, his body has become that of a 160-year-old.
Joseph Carey Merrick, known as Elephant Man, was an Englishman with very severe face and body deformities. He suffered from Proteus syndrome, a very rare congenital disorder. He was first exhibited at a freak show as the Elephant Man, and then went to live at the London hospital.
Pete Hero Byakadunda. Pete Hero comes from a small town in Uganda and suffers from Cruisen syndrome. This disease affects the skull, pushing the eyeballs out of their sockets. He eventually received life-changing surgery in Texas, and now lives a much more normal life.
Didier Montalvo. Called Turtle Boy by his peers in Colombia, Didier has a disease that causes moles to grow all over his body at a rapid pace. One of the moles grew so large on his back that it looked like he had a shell. He was ostracized by his community until a British surgeon, Neil Bulstrode, flew to Colombia and removed the mole, allowing Didier to live a normal life.
Dede Kazuwara, nicknamed the Tree Man. This Indonesian man suffered from a rare and incurable disease that caused warts to grow uncontrollably on his body, which resembles bark. In 2008, he received treatment in the United States, but the growths came back. There is no permanent treatment for this condition.
Sultan Kusen. A Turkish farmer, Sultan holds the world record for tallest living man at 251 centimeters, 8 feet 3 inches. His unique growth and massive height is caused by a condition known as pituitary gigantism, which is the result of an overproduction of growth hormone.
Manar Majid. This Egyptian girl suffered from parasitic twin syndrome, a very rare birth defect that develops when the embryo starts to split into identical twins, but does not complete the process. The underdeveloped conjoined twin, Islam, was attached to Manar's head, and was facing upward. Islam could smile and even blink, but doctors determined that she had to be removed, otherwise she could not survive on her own. Unfortunately, 1 year after her original surgery, she died due to brain infection, pneumonia, and heart trouble.
Mandy Sellers. Afflicted with Proteus syndrome, Mandy has the same disease as Joseph Merrick. However, in Mandy's case, it primarily affects her legs. They grew so large that one of them even had to be amputated. A 19-year-old Iranian man had a rare cyst on his right eyeball which sprouted hairs, impairing his vision and causing him discomfort every time he blinked. The hairy eyeball was the result of a skin tissue that can sprout hair, cartilage and even teeth. Doctors had to surgically remove the tumor, after it began to interfere with the patient's daily life.
Minan, known as Fish Boy, Min has a strange condition, which causes his skin to flake and create scales. Doctors believe it may be due to Agent Orange, a chemical used by the U.S. military during the Vietnam War, which ended in 1973.
Wang Chun-Kei. He is commonly known in the media as the Chinese Elephant Man. He was born with neurofibromatosis, a disorder that has caused large tumors on his face to utterly distort his human appearance. By the time he was 31, his tumor weighed 15 kilograms. Fortunately, his dramatic case has attracted doctors who have begun a long process of surgically removing the tumors.
Tessa Evans. Tessa was born with something called ahynia, which means she doesn't have a nose. Fortunately, people with Tessa's condition can have a plastic nose attached. But when it comes to smelling, Tessa will likely have to live a scentless life. Recently, she has just undergone a pioneering operation to have a mold inserted into her face in order to stretch her skin and slowly build the missing facial feature.
Thanks for your time. Hope you would have enjoyed this video. Please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to leave your comments below.